Anything is okay, like honest.
Okay, awesome. So how are you doing, guys?
All well. How's your day going?
I guess I get stung by bees. I was working with bees, and yeah, I got bitten a little bit.
Okay. I hope like it gets it gets like it doesn't sting anymore very soon.
Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting. How is your day going? I think that's a work day for you, right?
No, like
No?
today was no. So in Dubai, like it used to be a work day before,
Mm-hmm.
but then now it's a Saturday and Sundays are weekends generally.
Mm-hmm.
Some businesses choose to operate on Saturdays as well, but then Sunday is generally the weekend.
Okay. It's because I work with different people from like Saudi Arabia or from Emirates, and some of them do work on Sundays. So
Yes, yeah. That used to be the case in UAE as well. So other GCC countries still have this, but then UAE changed this like I think last year or last to last year. So it's been a while now since they've changed this rule. Before it was the same like other GCC countries.
all right. Yeah. Yeah. I will make sure to know that. So, the reason, guys, why I got you here together, I'm not sure that other people will join from the chat. It's not super active lately. But anyways, I'm gonna have like I'll get to have a talk with you, and maybe I'll do an article about it. I was thinking of that. So anyways, I'll put it in a video for community and on YouTube. Maybe you can also use some cuts from it if you want. I'll send that over to you. So, yeah, the reason was to understand how you build in things and your product more, and maybe that will in some way help you as well. So, um, yeah, I also um, did a bit of like research of the website and everything, and of how you pop up on AI tools like your names. I watched your videos, Neha, from YouTube that you did record recently. You have a great energy there. Like I can't explain that. It's just really, really positive. Anyways, so
Yes.
I wanted to start off with maybe telling to others what is Prezlo, right? For people who would be watching this video. So, from my understanding, simple like ways, a tool, AI tool that is automated to get for other businesses and products to get found on AI tools. It's it was not phrased rationally. um, can you explain that in one sentence? Can you explain it back, or
I
was it?
think I'll give that to Lopty. So Lopty, can you answer this? Because I have answered this before in the other call we had.
Ah,
Yeah, also thank you, Anna, yeah, for bringing us live. Yeah. So I'll just go straight to the point. Yeah. Preslo, it's product and infrastructure that helps you, as an expert become recommendable by AI. Yeah. The reason why we built Preslo was because we identified a gap, in the current market and a shift before, we were using the traditional search, that is Google, Bing, and all search engines, where you go to optimize uh, yourself, or you need to optimize it, using high authority websites like that and web pages. Yeah, because search engine was programmed, to retrieve information um, using a certain formula, which is keyword and key phrase matching. It wasn't really, about the intention. It wasn't really trained about the intention or the trust level. It was just about the keyword matching and all those things. Yeah, so we built Preslo, but now with the introduction of AI, the pattern has shifted. Now AI, the way AI retrieve information is quite different. Like AI doesn't just rank or rank pages. Yeah, it recommend entities. That is, it retrieve entities. When I mean entities, it means it goes to every content and try to find the intention behind the content. It tries to find the entities behind the content. It might be a person, it might be a company, it might be a place, it might be a thing, it might be anything. right? So in such a way, one content for AI can mean so many different things, can be answered, to so many different questions. So when you go, like, for instance, you write an article about us as in Preslo. Now you mention me, you mention Neha in that article. Now, if someone goes to AI and say, okay, I'm looking for, let's say, I'm looking for someone who has knowledge about, AI, SEO, and search, those things like that. Yes, our article, AI might still make reference to our article, but now the way it will answer is quite different. It will bring you someone, not actually a content. For instance, Neha is the person, has experience in AIS. He will not tell you that, he will not show you a bunch of article and say, because maybe you wrote and entitled your article, let's say, discussion on AI SEO, right? He will not carry that bunch of content and come and give me, to be talking jargons. He will just go straight to the point. Um, Neha, because I'm asking for Neha. I'm asking for a person, which is an entity. I'm not asking, a Vic. That is the difference between, traditional search and AI. So how can you become, relevant into AI? There are some criteria. First of all, AI needs to be able to identify you cleanly. You understand? It needs to be able to identify you, so you need to have an identity, right? So, like, such that it can make reference to. So if I'm looking for a boy, AI will go and get me a boy. If I'm looking for a phone, what kind of phone? Samsung, iPhone, what kind of model? AI needs those information, to give me the proper, information which I need to suit my taste. Yeah. And so if I am putting something online, I need to be able to label it properly such that AI can understand. That is one problem, Preslo helps people or experts, to solve, to be able to have that identity, the clear identity, right? Now, another thing is the signals. So when AI identify you, let's say I'm looking for a Samsung phone. I always use this example. If I'm you looking for a Samsung phone, let's say you in Ukraine, you have an iPhone and Nia has a Samsung phone, and I'm looking for you both are in Ukraine, but now maybe you are a princess in Ukraine, so maybe you have high authority. Now, if I'm looking for a Samsung phone and Nia has a Samsung phone while you have an iPhone, I go to AI and I say I need a Samsung phone. AI will not tell me I should go. AI will not go to Anna and be looking and be asking, will not bring me Anna, because first of all, Anna doesn't have a Samsung phone, despite the
Mhm.
fact that Anna has high authority, which is, but it will not make reference to what? To Anna, because Anna doesn't have what I need at that moment. Okay. Yeah. So it will goes to Niam. Now the trust level becomes when, there are many people that, like, for instance, there are more than one options to choose from. Now, how does AI, get to like bring out his judgment? It's by, categorizing, these informations into the most suitable. So if there are 10 people who have the Samsung phone, now which one will AI recommend to me the best based on my description, sorry, based on my description, what I want? AI will know what it will get for me. Now, if all of them are the same, then AI can move to the trust level, which is now coming to you both. If both of you had Samsung phone each, and I say I need a Samsung phone, I'm in Ukraine. Now, AI will likely recommend me to Anna because Anna is the princess, okay? He knows that Anna has a very trust level when it comes to dealings because he is a trusted personality or entity in Ukraine, isn't it? Yeah. So Preslo also helps you to build those signals like that AI use, to rank you above your competitors. These are what we call, the backlinks and all these things, like uh, putting you, like being mentioning you on high, on reputable site and stuff like that, right? So it's another thing which Preslo helps you to do, yeah, is to automate the hassle, like extensive works, when it comes to SEO, because we have different categories of customers. I mean, like our target audience. There are people like marketing agencies who knows how to do SEO, right? But the thing is, it's a work, it's a ton of work. They have to analyze, they have to do a lot of things, right? You understand? But when you're using Preslo, you can easily do every analysis in just a click. You can pull out any kind of data in just a click. You can have, good information with just a click. So you can do a complete on-page SEO with just a click, isn't it? You can pull your entire website, it audits it, it fix it, and you push back in just in few minutes. It means your on-page SEO. When I was doing traditional SEO before, I usually spend like, up to 3 weeks, right, to finish a website SEO for maybe like, which has over 1,000 pages, right? But now with Preslo, I can do it in under 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So, and with the backlinks and stuff. So that one also, it helps the expert who knows how to do SEO to automate these things. Now, with the cost effectiveness, there are people who don't know how to do SEO, who don't know how to get themselves, into AI search. Preslo helps them to do what? To be able to get, the full package and everything for a more considerate pricing. You understand? There are people who wants to get into AI search, but they can't afford. Yeah. So in a nutshell, I'll say Preslo, it's we call it an expert recommendation system, or an infrastructure that helps you get recommended, that helps experts, get recommended in AI tools, and also helps them track their authority level. Let's say you as a person, you can know from Preslo which authority you stand. Authority means, okay, how AI sees you, and what are the likely terms you could be recommended or not in which AI tools. Like, because every AI tool has their different criteria, like, in recommending people. ChatGPT might recommend you, Cloud might not. You understand? Perplexity might not. It might. Meta AI can. It might. So all these things, you need to have context. You need to have direction. You need to know, how to go about them. And the easiest solution is by using Preslo. Yeah. So I guess I'll stop there. So.
Yeah, and it's also not just like faster in one click. It's also you have like it checks run every 24 hours automatically, so you always get updated results. So that's a good tool. You said something about like elements that compose your identity that help AI recognize you. Maybe this would be a part of maybe that's the basic question, but what can compose identity of a product or a person, right? So it's trustworthiness, like reviews and ranking. It's mentioned in other articles. It's location, to be relatable to the person you're like who's searching you. It can be some degree in the words, like you're saying the basic traditional SEO uses keywords, right? But here we use more than just keywords. What would compose identity of a product or person? Just if there is an answer to this question.
Okay, so if you want to, let's take it from, away from AI, and let's come to person perspective. Okay. If you're looking for something, and probably you might have, a certain, description in your head of what you're looking for, right? And if you go to a shop to buy, at least it's based on your description that you could be able to, um they could be able to find out, what you're looking for. And when you go to every organized shop has, series of products which are placed, in different categories, in different shelves, identified, well labeled. So the customer can come in there, to read what is there, right? So if you say you are an expert, you are a UX designer, yes, you might have the knowledge. Now, you have to differentiate yourself, okay? Now, because there are different there are different people who associate with the term UX designer. One of them is, actually the expert, okay, like the people, let's say the technical, the person who does the work, isn't it? Like if you are a service provider, you are a UX service provider, yeah, it means that you need to label yourself and tell out, in a such a way AI systems can understand that you are a kind of person, you are a service provider, meaning if someone is coming to ask AI, I need a service provider, they should be able to recommend you, not recommend a professor who teach UX design. You understand? Both of you are speaking about UX design, but now one person it's a service provider. The other person is, a lecturer. If I want someone to do my work, I wouldn't go to that lecturer, isn't it? Because his work is not to do. But if you don't define those things, AI will always hallucinate, isn't it? Yeah. Secondly, the location we're talking about, like, okay, yes, it's simple. If I need someone from Dubai, if I need someone from Ukraine, at least AI will know, okay, if you are well labeled, AI will go, straight to you, because they don't just want to recommend, they don't just want to give out information, okay? They want to give out relevant information that will suit your need. You understand? So like if I need someone in Dubai and you're recommending me someone in you are recommending me Neha Patel, okay? I can never go and search. I need an SEO expert in Dubai in AI, and AI is recommending me to Neil Patel. AI knows Neil Patel is not in Dubai, although he's one of the best digital marketing specialists in the world, right? But he's not in Dubai, isn't it? So most professionals, most experts, they have the knowledge, they have the attribute. But the thing is that if they are not well labeled, okay, AI, will always hallucinate. AI will always misjudge, like will not know, like if you suit the standards of the person, like asking or not. So you need to well structure yourself. If you are a person, identify you are a person. You are not a tool. Meaning that, okay, you need to identify you're a person. If you are a service provider, you need to identify. If you work with a company, you need to identify you associate with this company. If you have all the attributes which you have, okay, there is a way you need to label and structure it. That becomes your identity, such that if someone comes, 5 different people can come to AI and say, okay, I need someone. When someone is describing something to you, they have different phrases. You understand? Yes, I need a lady, but now there are different kinds of ladies. I need a lady who is who is fair in complexion. I need a lady who is dark. Yes, there might still be 4 ladies who are fair in complexion. No, I need that one with the black dress. Okay. Yes, there might still be 4 people who are with a black dress. So you need to go right deep down, 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 to get most users to get what they want. They go and they describe, deep down. And that is the only way, or like AI can give you the best, alternatives. Okay. Yeah. But if you are an expert, you are a professional, you can't label yourself. You always be mixed with the crowd. You always be mixed with the wrong audience, isn't it? And you will not always get the high intent clients. Why? Because most often your traffic, the ones who could be coming to you, they'll be going to the wrong clients. Imagine I go and ask AI, if I go ask search engine, I want a UI, or let's say I ask this kind of question. I have a problem with my website. Okay, I want to fix it. Okay, UX, like who do you think can fix my website? You understand? And now search engine will be telling you, will be referencing you to an article from Harvard University that is talking about you. I said I want someone to do it, not show me article, isn't it? Yeah, but AI, will get you the person. What if you are a UX designer now and you don't have that identity, you don't have that label? You will just be mixed with the crowd. Meaning, even a lecturer, if AI looks for someone and doesn't find anyone, he goes to the, you hallucinate, and you might never get the good client. And mind you, most of the clients who comes to AI, before reaching to you, most of them are, well shaped and well fine-tuned, because AI answer most of their questions, most of their doubt. You understand? And you most likely just get the lead. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So there are a lot of things that I can write. Let's say as an example, like I'm a UI UX designer, right? That I can write about myself to identify myself as a UI designer, right? Is that I'm providing service. Like that can be a bunch of keywords, but it's not still the thing that we're looking for, because um, let's say there would be 1,000 more designers just like me will have similar keywords and like similar level, right? Then the weight that will define who will pop up in the results from AI search first would be maybe from publications. I think that some of the
Okay.
platforms have more
Let me
weight.
let me give you an example. Okay. I can go and write about, let's say I have a website. Okay. Now I can go and profile you on my website, isn't it? Nobody knows you. Let's say you don't have any backlink or anything anywhere. I go and profile you on my web. That website is a blog. Okay. I go and profile you there. I say, okay, Anna, I work with, Anna, he does this, that. If I was going to search engines, to go and be asking those things, right? Like I need a UX designer. Search engine will recommend you to my article. Eh? It will recommend you to me, to my article, isn't it? And most people don't read the full, they don't even read the contents, right? They don't even want to read that full bunch of things. But AI will pick the entity from my article and recommend directly to the client, meaning that they don't, search engines recommend contents, isn't it? and keywords. But AI, it doesn't recommend you a bunch of content. If you need a person, it will pick the person from the content based on your description and give it to you. So you might be a UX designer, but you are not designing. You have not. You are a blogger. Let's say you are writing about UX design. You have not
Mhm.
made your intention clearly known that, okay, you are open for projects. That means your expertise, you have not communicated your expertise anywhere that you are open for projects or that you are capable to handle projects, isn't it? You are just writing. Search engines can, show your content, to bunch of people, irrelevant, anyone who is searching for US, but AI, if you do not make yourself known that you're open for UX design, if you do not clarify that, even if you write 100,000 contents, bunch of contents, okay, about UX design, AI will not recommend you. Yeah, you need
Uh,
to clarify that. Yeah.
Also, also to just add one more thing. Also, like on Prezlo, if you see, like you can add your projects, the kind of projects you have worked with, the kind of clients you have worked with. You can also get your reviews. So that defines, like a trust identity for yourself as well. So that will definitely, help you boost. Let's say if it's a law firm and you have similar work with law clients, so there's a very high chance that you are the person who's going to be there in terms of recommendations there, because there's a kind of trust associated. Like there's a data entity and there's a kind of trust, making which is being created behind the code structure basically.
does it mean that the output that I get in Prezlo AI, it's the instructions of what I have to do? Like, write this article and like you'll get recommended, or yeah,
Yeah.
result is the tasks for me, right?
Or you mean you as a user?
Yes. While I'm using Prezlo AI and I want service, right, I'll get the recommendation of what to do.
Okay. Yeah, this is Preslo as an interface as it is there, you understand, it helps you, yes, like we said, it helps you improve, all these things we've talked about. Now, for somebody who don't have a website, okay, like for someone who don't have a website, like who lives on social media all their lives, right? Their Preslo profile, is it's a starting point. You understand? They can't neglect the Preslo profile because the Preslo profile, the infrastructure, it's built, the algorithm and everything, the infrastructure is built in such a way. If you put an information there, it has a way, you understand, it helps to transform, every information you put in the most clearest and machine readable interpretation. So it interprets, your information, okay, to the level which AI and machines can understand. Now, when you go to Preslo, you can manually do those things by yourself. You can write you can bring in your content from anywhere and put it there. As well, you can also, if you don't want to, work out things yourself, you can just click some one or two buttons and say, write it for me. It writes for you. Okay. Yeah. And you can always correct it, audit it, and all those things. Those automations are there. Yeah. But now the core uniqueness of Preslo, it's about, um, the system itself, those Preslo profile there, what it does for you is that it helps to structure your information and interpret it in a more, machine friendly, way. Yeah. What is similar to like things like schema.org. Yeah. But schema.org, it's not it's so vague. You understand? Yeah. Preslo, it's for basically, for experts. Yeah. And as well, you can also, if you don't have a website, you can always use a Preslo profile as a portfolio where even people can come to your Preslo profile and book you from there. Yeah. So, but everything you communicate on Preslo is translated in the most clearest format, into AI. Yeah. Meaning, because AI is not just looking for, AI doesn't like messy data. When you go and ask AI for something, first of all, AI is looking for the information, the clearest, information that communicates your needs, like I said, isn't it? So, and Freslo helps you, your informations to be, communicated in that manner. Yeah, because other social media platforms and other directories don't do that really. Yes, they are not built for the AI, right? Yeah. So that is why you can post your profile on Preslo, and if you work on it properly, in less than 1 month or maybe 16 days, you might definitely see yourself at the top, of some AI tools and such, because the information is very well structured and interpretable. And understand that AI tools use what we call gas. Many people don't know this, right? Like if an AI it's going to, like if you give an AI query for it to go do research and stuff, that it burns energy, isn't it? It burns a lot of energy. And AI doesn't like to, waste energy. Yeah? Even search engines like Google don't. If Google tries to crawl your website and it's not reachable, it will flag it for some time because they don't want to burn energy. So the clearest information AI could get without stress, if it communicates your needs properly, it will bring it from you. Then after then, it can be able to judge. If it gets so many informations, it can be able to judge them and rank them based on, who is the best, who is not the best, like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. I didn't know that about flagging the website, actually.
Okay.
Let's say there are two. We're talking about designers. Let's say there are two designers, right? And they are like at the same level of their AI search optimization. And what would work better if one would be published in an article on platform like Medium, right? The popular platform. Um, and another one would make a website about himself and would just write about himself, right? So since the website, like platform like Medium, has more authority to it, would it have more weight or no? Because I think that worked with SEO definitely, but I'm not sure if it works with the AI tools.
Okay. Platform Medium is one of the high platforms AI try to pull from when they are trying to retrieve entities, because there are a lot of articles they're reading about people, comparison styles articles, you understand? Yeah. But now, where to identify a person, AI doesn't use a platform like Medium to identify who a person is. Understand, I talk about the faces. I said first, you need to be identified. I mean, like AI needs to understand who your personality, who your entity is. You understand? So it doesn't use platform like Medium to first of all identify that, but it uses platforms like Medium to qualify or to add more credibility, isn't it? For instance, if I go and write about, let's say on Medium, I write about top 10 marketers in Dubai, and I write my mother's name. Okay, my mother is not a marketer, is not in Dubai. Now AI, if it gets that information, it will look for the entity behind the information. It will try to identify these persons. Is it through LinkedIn? Is it through their website? Is it through there are profile directories like that? Is it through Clutch? Is it through Prezlo? Okay. Yeah. Where it gets the clearest information from, about you, if it understands you properly, fine, it will dwell on that. Apart from Medium, it can use Medium and other, sources, to qualify, you understand, your trust level. Hmm? Your trust level, I mean, like, is this person of real? How many people have written about this person? Or is it just a self article? Because there's no way you write one article about yourself. I mean, like, you want AI, to just trust on that one article, right? Where there are money, whereas there are someone. So AI look at those things, is try to judge, like, okay, this person, just one article. Maybe he's the one who wrote the article, or maybe it's his brother who wrote the article about him. So I don't really think, but they want to, like, okay, where is this person? I want to see the works of this person. So does he have a website? Okay. I was able to retrieve the website. Okay, see his works from the website. Your website is somewhere you document your work. So if AI wants to verify you, right? If you exist, yes, they might retrieve, they might find content. Let's say if I write, I need top 10 digital marketers in Dubai. Somebody might have written on Medium about top 10 digital marketers in Dubai. AI might find that article, but it needs to confirm or verify. You understand? And based on works. And one of the places it checks, is your works, which is where do you find your works? Either on your website, on your, portfolios like LinkedIn, Pressflow, anywhere. Hmm? Yeah. But there is a challenge with, so many social media platforms, like they are not easily retrievable by AI, because mostly AI cannot crawl social media live in most social media, because they don't allow it, right? Because their model is different. So it rely on cache data. Why for a platform like Preslow, every information on Preslow is crawlable, on AI, because that is it helps to, like it's crawlable on AI. So if you verify your certificate, let's say today on AI on Prezlo, to prove that you are worth doing this work, your license and everything in Dubai, your certificate, your awards and all those things, you document them on Prezlo. Prezlo translate that same information the very day. AI can have access to those information the very day when trying to verify you, right? When trying to, verify you, if actually you are worth, recommending. Yeah. So then it's an article of Medium. It will help. It helps, right, as a citation, isn't it? But your the trust level, your verification level, sorry, your identity level. It doesn't help AI to that is not one of the platforms AI use in judging who a person is or who an entity is. Yes. So, but it helps, in comparing one entity from another. Like, okay, you are a UX designer, that other one is a UX designer. So this one, they wrote an article about him on Medium. Who wrote this article? How many engagement does this article have? I mean, when was it written? 2020, 20. Oh, it means he has been there for long. He just now, those kind of things, it checks, Yeah, but one of the most things AI rely on is trust. If he wants to rank you first, is trust. And trust comes from documentation. Preslow does not only helps you, document things like just randomly, you just go there, just put anything. No, you can put, when you put in all your links on Preslow, it pulls even your 20 your previous projects, isn't it? Your previous works, it documents those things with their timestamp. So AI, when they are retrieving, they'll know like you came there and wrote everything by today and you're expecting. No, if there was something you did in 2020, Preslow helps to mirror those things. So AI can see your clear scope. It's not like I just go and build a website today and that website is and they know, okay, fine, this website I just built it just a few months ago or last month, and I'm claiming that I'm an expert. I've been working since 30 to 2016, those kind of things. So AI, it tries to, which makes it very difficult. You can rank on search engines faster, but AI is difficult for you to get recommended because the trust level is not there, isn't it? So these are the things, Preslow, like on Preslow, you can be able to solve and, you anchor real fast.
Yeah, but in short, in a simplified way of like you gave the full answer and pretty great one. If I would compress it in super simple way, like it's very simplified, to the level of down simplified. If I would go and apply to be written about in Medium article, I know that's really hard, almost it's a long process and everything. But if I would appear in the list of top 10 UI designers, right, who are giving services right now on Medium platform, that would have a bit more weight than for AI search optimization that me writing about myself on my own website, even though it all works in combination. So that if I'd have proof of not just being mentioned in Medium platform, but having a list of portfolios and my own website and everything, that would work better. But AI would go first to popular platforms to search for and the answer, and then to like my own website where I'll say I'm the best UX designer in the world. It's less likely to be noticed because it has less proof, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure that I'm understanding everything right. Yeah, so that was just like general questions to start off and to understand how things are working, and maybe the last general question about AI search optimization would be if a person, average founder of an app like watching this video right now, would have 1 free hour this week to optimize their product or themselves, right? The search optimization. What would be the most important thing for them to do within an hour or one thing?
Come
Is there
again?
no?
Come again?
If a person would have 1 hour, right, this week to optimize their product for AI search, what would be the most important thing to start off with. I do understand that the more you pay attention and the more consistently you do that, the better result you get. But where would you start off? What would be the first thing to do for AI search optimization?
Okay, so if you want to optimize your profile or your entity, right? Now the best thing, the first thing for you to start with is first of all define the intention behind why you're doing. What do you want to achieve, with the optimization? Do you want to get clients? For what purpose? Okay, let's say for instance you are a UX designer, you want to get a client, for UX design projects, right? The first things AI looks at is the credibility that is comes from the works and the reviews. Okay.
I'm sorry, can we use an example? Maybe like I did a investment app, right? Then this already would come from App Store ranking.
The app became you did an app.
What if I'm not if you're not talking about UI UX designer, if you're talking about optimizing investment app, right?
Okay.
Come from App Store ranking. All right.
Okay. So okay, if you want to, if you have an app on App Store and you want it to feature on AI tools, isn't it? So people, when people go and search what is the best app for this, they should use it. The most likely thing for you to do, what AI sees the most, it's people's thoughts behind the project. AI, if you're talking about a product, AI gets its credibility first, from its effectiveness, isn't it? That is, it judges from, the people who are using the app. Yeah. So in that kind of in that situation, things like Trustpilot reviews, we do a lot. Things like Trustpilot reviews, product hunts and all these places. You understand? Even the App Store reviews, they will do a lot. And as well, comparison, like style articles, yeah, from different people. Like, because if a lot of people are talking good about your thing, it means it's actually good. But now it can still be good. But for you to be able to put it into conversation with other, with other competitors, you need to make AI know that, okay, the people who are writing about it, they need to make AI know that, okay, this thing is winning over this thing. For instance, your finance app, it can be very good, but AI knows that there are some top apps somewhere which are who have been existing for more than 20 years, so they are relatively too good, isn't it? Now, if I go and write an article on Medium and I say, okay, I've tried 5 apps, okay, I've tried this one, I've tried this one, I've tried this one, I've tried this one. This is a limitation, this is a limitation, this one, this one, this one. So this one is the good one. Okay. This one is good for this one is good for this. And we have, those kind of articles like in maybe 6, 10 different platforms, isn't it? By 10 different people, maybe. Sharing their experience. It makes a lot of sense, you understand, to AI, right? Yeah, but before you even go about writing those and getting these people to write in those articles, you need to be able, like I said, the first thing you need to do is to define what your product does. That is the first thing you should always think to do, because that is what AI use, you understand, to understand perfectly what you are up to, isn't it? Yeah. So let's say your finance app, maybe it's solving a problem. Maybe you built it for this purpose, and you're using it for this particular location. For this location, it's not available for this location. It's available for these people in this location. You can use it. You define the features. You define what you call the use cases. You define, a lot of things, right? Once you do that, you are giving you are creating, like a sense of identification. Okay, fine. When AI now is reading those external articles and say, okay, yes, I've seen 5 articles, like I asked, what is the best app for this purpose? Someone's finance app might be to solve international, whatever, fast rate, international, Dubai to Ukraine, what? Some other person's own to be low fee, low fee. That is what he relies on, meaning that he doesn't care about speed. He cares about low fee. So if I am going to AI and say I need a low fee, isn't it? AI should know basically, first of all, is your product doing low fee? Hmm? Yeah. So even if it gets your product from articles, like from those articles, maybe I'm writing, I say I've used 5 apps and these are my 5 apps. I like this app the most, AI can still think that, someone did that article not out of experience. Hmm? Not out of experience. You understand? Yeah. So, but they needs to be able to match, they needs to be able to match, some of the like these things to the product itself. And if someone is talking something else and your product is saying something else, it also, it also creates what we call, uh some kind of confusion to AI. It causes AI, to judge it poorly. It reduces the credibility. Hmm? Yes. And there is a AI knows where it finds information. If you are hosting app on App Store, fine. The information of that application should be on the App Store and also on the website. These are the places and other places. Articles like Medium, they don't give AI full context of everything about an application, because on your website or the landing page of the app, you have things like the FAQs where you answer questions. You have things like defining the features, the features and all those things. Those things AI learns, from and have a full scope about what your app is, such that in most cases it even corrects users. That is when someone is going to say, okay, between these 5 apps, okay, what what do they like between these 5 finance app, what do you think about them? AI will tell you this one. If you want to go for this one, you go for this one. If your problem is this, go for this one. If your problem is this, go for this one. If your problem is this, go for this one. And where they find it is on your, on the app informations. Yeah. So the first thing, like, let me just answer clearly. The first thing is for you to properly, um 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 present, your what do you call it, is the information, like to properly structure, your apps, whatever information. Yes. Provide every details about your app, well labeled and everything. Yeah. And the second, before you go about, writing articles and as well getting reviews. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, in short, the first thing, structure the information about you, get some, well, not keywords, but they still are important. And the second one would be getting a lot of reviews from different people and different platforms, and some of them are Trustpilot, App Store, and Google Play reviews from app users. Yeah, it sounds simple, but it's a compounding process, right?
Yeah.
It takes a lot. All right, thanks. I think that for now I do understand some things. There are a lot of details that I might want to ask maybe later on the call, but I want to talk also about you guys. So, congrats on getting in the Dubai Founders headquarters. I maybe that was the first time when I heard about the
Okay.
the whole fund platform, right? Um, I wanted to hear about how you started, because I have not seen that a lot, and you seem like an interesting duo, and you think to work great together. How did you start with Prezlo AI? Like,
Like Lopty and I, we met last year, and then we were working on an AI manager together. And but then the product is honestly pretty great. Even that it's called a Team IT suite. But then, because of a SaaS model, like B2B SaaS, we weren't really able to scale, and especially because probably we were here in UAE market as well. So you could say it's like a competitor of Monday.com in a way. Monday.com or Sana, it's competitive for them. So we weren't really able to scale that. So we paused working on that this year. Then around like Loptic, is somebody who's an innovative product builder. He loves building product. He'll keep building something, small tools, email automations, and a lot of things he'll keep building. So in Feb this year, similarly, like from that curiosity perspective, he built, Prezlo. And then in March, like then he asked me that, Neha, like, shall we work on this together? So that's how, we came in together to, work on Prezlo. And then because we saw that this is something, where the market is changing at the moment, this is where in 2028, if we look at, everybody is going to look at ChatGPT or any AI model to really, search anything or any business or any person. So we saw that, this is something which is evolving at the moment, and this is a great product which people would require. So we just started working on towards that.
That's really fast answer. Do you have those technical background in building things like engineering background? Because
Yeah. So I'm a computer science engineer by background.
yes.
Though I am somebody who doesn't like coding, I have done all machine learning, deep learning. I can do website development, everything. But I'm a person who really is better at the communication, relationships front. Like that's my, specialization. But though I have experience in a previous marketing tech platform as well. So I'm from a product manager perspective, I would do a good job, but I don't like the coding part myself. Though I have a technical background. But for Lopty, so he has been, like he started coding like since around 12. Then he started building websites. He slowly started building apps, and then but then he realized that, like initially he thought that, like I build an app, then automatically it's on Play Store and it will get traction. So then there was a space that, why is it not getting traction? And the solution was marketing. So that's how, he went on to into marketing. So he studied marketing, and then he has been into the marketing profession. So he's more on technical sides of marketing. He focuses on SEO, on, performance marketing, etc. So he has had a career with 10 plus years of experience in marketing. But then, like, and he didn't do a technical degree, but then he loves building these products and everything he's building, and he's the CTO for Prezhna. And so he's built multiple products, even before the a previous startup, also the platform he built. Even before then, he has built multiple products. He's built similar products for for clients as well. So he's a technical builder basically, though he doesn't have a technical background. So we complement each other. I have a degree, but he does job.
No, that's interesting. So the positions
So yeah.
of CTO, that you are the how is it go? And
Uh,
So I handle the like operational things. Like I'm the CEO, and then he's the CTO.
CEO, right?
It sounds fancy to be honest, but then honestly, like yeah, on paper, yes.
No, that's interesting. That's interesting. You have like
Yeah.
really like matching backgrounds, and it's cool that you have both like technical. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
who you're just telling that as if you had an idea. You started working together. What was it hard? Like you started in February, and it's been just such a comparatively short period of time for like building products, because I know people who build that for a really long time.
I
So
so
you
I
yes.
yeah, I think in that light, okay, one of the things I have, learned throughout the journey. I think what really guides us here also, it's one of the things is the experience, right? Yes, like I've had experience, building several products, like Neha said. I've had experience building several products. If I've not built, many products, the list is about 17 different products. Because even this year, like I just keep building them, right? And some I build, I form a team, like we try to. So in those years of like learning and all these things, I began to build a pattern, what we call a pattern. So in the case of Preslow, I knew already that like for Preslow, for it to be successful, startups doesn't really need time. Okay, like it doesn't really need much time as people may think, but it needs what we call consistency, and a focus. Like for instance, you need to have a clear sense of direction, consistency, sacrifice and focus. So what I did was I had a clear goal. Okay, we had a clear goal what we wanted to build. Since me, like she said, I'm an experiment. I like to experiment things. So and I always like to anticipate things which are not even there. So I announce my sheet. You understand? Before I even figure it out. So when people are expecting it, I go rush and start doing it. So in the case of Prezlo, I announced it already, right? And but I had not built anything, so I had to go. I had everything, in down, like the idea and everything. So I had to go since people were expecting it, and I've profiled it, so much, very big and stuff like that. Like, it's a hyper, product. So I had to go see it. I gave myself a timeline, like we gave ourselves some deadline, and we had to, day in, day out, build everything and stuff. It was difficult, yeah, but the thing is, despite being difficult, I think the difficulty here, it always implies in the aspect, of your mind, yeah, because everything for me, my journey, everything for me, life has been so difficult in every stage. It doesn't really matter whether I have money or I don't have money. Life has always been, you know, not like difficult in the sense that I hate it. No, it has been really, it has been tough, in most movement. In every, step, I face some kind of, challenges, even in normal job. Like, because I have a gift which is, has to do with solving problem. Okay. So if you come to me and you're like, okay, you have this issue, you might likely get your problem solved. You understand? And I'm sure this is how Neha also is. But I do solve the problems in a kind of weird manner. Like, okay, I sometimes I carry your burden. Before, that was what I was doing. Like when someone just come to me. So I've been doing this for a very long time. You come to me, you just tell me your story, and I'll just carry the burden, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm used to with those kind of things. So it doesn't really mean like if or like I stay for long, like maybe I don't sleep. I just keep walking, 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 walking. I always have one thing, which is the motivation, the end goal I want to achieve. At least in every end, there is always, the joy that comes in. Yeah. So when I'm walking, I always look ahead. With the case of Preslow, we were so motivated with the idea. And one thing which keeps us to this track is because we are not just building product, okay? We are not just building product, but we want to own an industry. You understand? There is a difference. We are not just building products. We want to own a particular market space. We want to be a leader, right? Yeah. So we want to be an industry. We want to own an industry. We want to have a patent, all those things which, okay, people can use like that, and for their research and all those things. So these are the things which motivate us to keep going, like, to keep pushing. It's not even about being excited to just build a product like that. Yeah, but we have high dreams, and we work real fast because both of us, we have high level energy. By the way, we are young and we are motivated. And I really think one of the things too is because we can understand ourselves better. Yeah. For me, I was really, when I met Neha first, we were like, okay, she agreed to work, and I was like to work with me, and I agreed to work with her. But I was like, this lady, maybe she's from India, she's maybe still young. Maybe I'm not having money out, like I'm not making money. So, and she also, I don't know, she's focusing on her own stuff. Am I sure there are other ladies who have come to me, they have not been able to, produce like that? How am I, that was the thought, running through my mind. But I saw for 1 month, she was, I mean, like she came up with some kind of fire, because it made me to stop complaining, obviously. Like the fire that she brought, it made me to stop complaining. And we just keep going. Before we knew it, like, we built this strong bond. Like, but I'll tell you, it has really been tough, right? Because if you're focusing on startup, you don't have to focus on, it's very difficult for you to concentrate on a startup and you're focusing on something else. Yeah, because at one moment you might lose the enthusiasm. That's true. You might just lose it, right? You might lose it. So, but for me, the focus, like, I mean, we are focused like that, from March, we built press load March now, until now. The idea also, one thing we saved us was that the idea was very easy to sell. I mean, it's very easy, it's very sweet and easy to sell. So we
Yeah.
just feel like, now the problem is not figuring out the idea. The problem is, getting the users. The problem is, talking to people. The problem is the product is great. The product is great. The product is great. It's best. Anybody will come. unlike Team IT Suite, you can pitch to 10 people, they'll be like, like that. So it was, there are two different things. Yeah.
The idea is really strong. Yeah, I agree that it's sweet and easy to sell. You instantly understood the value of it. And yeah, it's an interesting story. So basically, the secret sauce is experience and fire, right? Is it? That was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, even
Yours.
without experience, honestly, like the willingness to build something. Because I think the passion or the consistency which you can move towards that's the best thing, honestly speaking. Because like if you're consistent about same thing for let's say 6 months, you definitely will improve. If there's something wrong also, you will start improving that, and you will definitely become a better person or a product. So
Yes.
it's just you have to go on, but alongside that, sometimes what really happens is that you need a compatible team, because a founder's journey is very difficult, to be honest. I closed my previous startup because I was a solo founder there and it was difficult for me. I worked on it for around 2 years, almost 2 years, around 8 months, 9 months full time, and before that part time. And I left my job just to be working on that. But then the journey is very, stressful. There are so many ups and downs. When you don't have the most compatible team, it becomes difficult. So then, like similar, it was very similar case with Lopty as well. But then we came together and then like we complement each other as a team as well. So in a way, it was luck, it was destiny, honestly speaking. And then, like while we were working on a previous startup, team ID, so we might like we had a synergy, but our synergy wouldn't be as best as what we have at Prezlo, because now we have known each other for more than a year. We know each other's working patterns, and then but we know one thing, just one goal, that we have to build this and we have to make it a unicorn. So I think team and then the consistency and passion to build that would be the most. Even you can have zero experience, but then if the best team and most consistency you have, like you can make anything happen. Like even like in with YC in the US, 18, 19 year olds are building that. We're a lot older than them at least, but then even they are making it happen. They're building like multi-million-dollar companies, million-dollar companies. So even that's happening.
What piece of advice can you give us on find partner to product with team? It's a pretty broad question, and I do understand some basics about it. You have to be like compatible with experience, like have maybe different experience that would add up and would like, complete a great picture together. Some of partners should have more assets, meaning a brand, clients, a name, money, right, to invest in. Some might have more time than the other person. There is also, you mentioned fire. Like, how are you searching for a partner to found this startup? How did it happen? You
So I mean, like it again, honestly, it depends, but you both need to have like same priority. I think, like like if the priority aligns for you, which is for us, let's say it is a priority is to make a Prezlo unicorn. And so, and for that, like in a way, like different components, then you need to have a trust and a friendship, because honestly, friends like make best companies together. So we're doing a better job because we are good friends now at Preslo than we were doing at Team IT soon, because business is something where you need trust as well. So it's a mix of multiple, honestly, things. At the same time, there are so many criteria, to be honest. I can't even list all of them down. But then at times it could be happen that like someone has, let's say, more time, who's putting more time, but then the other person is also putting some sort of effort, even if they're not putting time. Because if if somebody is not putting time and effort also, and one person is doing alone, they will start feeling at one point that why do we have a, let's say, equal stake in the company when he's not doing the same amount of work? It's not going to work out. If only one person is doing everything, it's not going to work out at all. Both have to like bring in a ratio of something. It can be 60-40 at times, and it can be 70-30 at times, or sometimes it can be the vice versa as well. But there has to be right understanding, there has to be friendship, there has to be trust, because you're building a company together. There's money involved in the process. There are going to be fights as well, so you have to have mutual respect for each other. Lottie and I, we also have had our share of fights. And
Mhm.
but then this was it didn't happen with Prezlo. It happened with Team IT soon, because like we both are individuals who love, we're building startups because we want to have a share. We want to have like authority in that decision making process. We all have like our own way we think about things. So you need to have that say also, that let's say in this thing, this is your say. In this thing, it's my say. Let's say marketing is my niche, tech is your niche. I'll not say anything. Your final decision is there. I'll come in, I'll bring in my opinion, but you are the decision maker there. So there is, like equal respect, and like understanding each other better, that what is your skill set, what, and understanding yourself better as well. That this is where I lack this. Let's say I'm not good at communication, I'm not good at tech. You have to be honest with yourself first, then with your partner as well. Only then you can, form that bond and then partnership together.
How do
So
you
like there's no formula for it, but it's honestly like it's a luck is also a factor here. Like honestly speaking, uh, it's like an emotional connect at times as well. So it really depends, to be honest.
I know a partner to make a community of these founders with? That's now like going slow and just like on the idea stage. But I never had an experience of having a business partner. I had a team, and I was pretty, I would say, not scared, but I was trying to avoid giving out partnership, like ownership rights to team, because yeah, that scared me a little bit. The conflicts or misalignment of things that might happen, right? I did have conflicts with my team, and I know that it was hard to manage them. Uh, how do you deal with conflicts at your startup? It's just out of curiosity, maybe not according to the.
Yeah. So like with Lopty and I, like we have reached that trust level, so we know that like this can't happen without Lopty, or it can't happen without Neha. So we both are integral parts, and it has to be, we both have to be there. But then definitely at times, it does happen that we wish forward to, bring forward advisors. We wish other people, who have more expertise, mentors. And that right now we're not hiring because we're looking to raise our fund around right now. But then when we're looking forward to hire those employees as well, if they're honestly bringing the value, we would definitely be more than happy to give them equity. But that equity is also going to be a planned equity, that it's going to be like a vesting kind of equity. It's not that you're going to have the equity right away the moment you join. It's going to be that you're working minimum of 2 years with us. Every 6 months or every 3 months, there's a certain amount of equity which is being released and which is getting under your name. It's depending on the amount of effort, what the value you're bringing in forward. Because we also have to think like little long term also, but at the same time, like the kind of skill they will bring forward, and the kind of pace, and like probably like our efforts, the growth they can make probably 2x 3x, rather we are doing it alone probably. So at times even that kind of the vesting, honestly that vesting schedule does help a lot. But then like I personally prefer that having like a trial working period when it's a partnership. Even with, I was trying to find co-founders to get before, so I have had in my experience probably 20 25 potential co-founders for my previous startup. And so I always used to have this thing that we're getting on regular calls. We're having at least a trial period of around a month. After that, like we understand each other's synergies, what our goals are, so we're more aligned. And if it doesn't work out, yes, on happy terms, we have a happy, like we have a understanding conversation that I think this is not going to work out. So
Mhm.
it's like it's a communication is key at the end of the day as well. But I think having a like a first like a grace period to like understand that, and then go to that process and have a vesting schedule to give them equity, that would be like a better, I think, a way up approach to look at it.
It sounds like you have a now.
Sorry, like your voice got cut.
Do you have a team now? It seems like you have a system for.
No, no, like with Trezor, we don't have a team right now. We're two only. And honestly, probably at the moment we are enough also. But then we do have like certain people around us who are advising us, who are motivating us. And right now we're looking forward to, for the summers, we're looking forward to hire two interns to help us with few things. But then we do not have any full-time employees at the moment with Prezlo.
But that thing will come around and is gonna bring in a lot of new, like, that's a lot of processes actually. Like, as a startup, that's like you have sales, you have marketing, you have building a product, improving it, you have managing.
Yeah, yeah, there's so many things are there.
How did you first hear about like Dubai Founders headquarters? Were you investors? Were you like bootstrapping at the start? Did you start off with your own investments? Like how did this whole thing happen with?
So like this happened firstly because of, like word of mouth. I heard people, talking about this. I had few friends who had the access there, like since last year.
Mhm.
Right. And so we just, like they have a website there, and like you can just go and apply there, and then like, and also like it falls under the Dubai Economy and Tourism Department, which is an issuing body for one of the issuing bodies to register businesses here as well. So there
Yeah,
has been like a focus on AI as well here. So they're trying to promote AI startup as well. So we apply there, and then like they have their own criteria to go through those applications. They took like approximately 3-4 weeks to get back to us, and then they got back to us that you're part of the community. What we're getting is that with Founders HQ, it's right next to World Trade Center, so we have access to the working space. They're not charging us anything at the moment. And then they have the entire community of founders. I think there are more than, I think 500 1,000 founders there. And so you get access to the entire community. Not everybody is coming to, like, honestly coming to the workspace, but
yeah.
then on the database, if you look at it, I think it's 500 to 1,000 people on a regular basis. Probably around 100 people around are coming to the workspace. And so now like it's more easy for us to post on the communities that we are also founder of the community, and this is our product, to probably have more conversations, to probably get more users, to get more partnership access. And they also have like a lot of other some type of perks, which is like, let's say, access to a lot of memberships, complimentary discounts, for certain hosting platforms, for well, let's say AWS credits or something. There's a platform called as Ignite, which connects you to investors, where you can go and book sessions with mentors there, like who are probably like industry experts. There's no cost for so basically you get a free 1 year membership when you're part of Founder H2 with that community as well. So we are able to like directly get to investors, like 500 plus investors directly via that membership as well.
That's
There are a lot of other perks as well. Like there's an AI, like there's an AI festival happens, via that we're able to get like discounted package for that. Like the cost is around $1,600. I think we're getting it for approximately $550. So there are other perks are being getting combined. Like it's to promote startup ecosystem and to help them grow. And so you are more closer to like when you go on a regular basis, it's honestly like the startup vibe you would get. So many conversations you would have, so many people you would connect with, so you all helping each other grow there.
It's awesome, and you also can use them. They are mostly, most likely your target audience, those 500 or.
Right. Yeah.
You can also pitch the product to them, so that's kind of cool.
Yes, yeah. Yes,
What
yeah. Investors are also there in the same community. They do frequently visit there. The events happening as well. There are networking events as well. So overall, it helps a lot.
would you get in Dubai? Like, how what was the competition high, and why do you think you got in? Like, was it?
I think like Prezzo, like we're honestly very unique. I don't think, like the way we're looking at the vision, the which way we are looking in the AI space, it's very unique. I don't think there's any other startup who's looking at, AI discovery and identity infrastructure together, like how we are looking at. There's no startup I've come across this. There might be startups, like which are direct B2B SaaS, which are only helping you with optimization, but they're not giving you an identity there. So Prezlo is doing something very unique, like we haven't seen anything like this, and I don't think anybody else is going to be there as well. So I think we're going to be like a solo player in that space, to be honest. So I think that competitive advantage we had, and also like as a team, like when people look at us, our profiles as a team, they do see that these people, they complement each other's skills. He does tech, I do the talking, the partnerships, the sales. He does technical marketing, I do creative marketing, I create content, etc. So we do have a, like for initial level to make it happen, we do have a blend of skills together where no skill is missing from the profile itself. That that you will need to go and hire for somebody for 250K dollars a year or something because you have a missing skill. That's not the case in our team. So probably that makes us a great profile together as well at times.
Okay. Why did you decide to go specifically to this like investment platform, right? So like, why didn't you do like bootstrapping, or maybe there are some they will own a like percent of equity, right? Or there are other. Well, I'm not particularly educated on a lot of foundations, right? That would support startups, just like Y Combinator,
Yeah.
most popular ones. But
Yeah.
why? Because of location.
No, so basically, number one thing, like we're not like we're trying to be in that stage right now where we're at investor readiness stage, we're getting more towards that. So we're thinking that, probably next 3 months we're looking forward to after we're looking to raise. So right now, having those conversations is helping us to improve that process and to get more users, because that's been a focus at the moment as well. And after that point, we're looking to raise. And the reason to, to do that is that because, like the industry is something, which is moving very fast. Right now, I'm saying 2028 is when we are going to, have everybody search on ChatGPT. So we are giving us a time of, let's say, 1.5 years. And we have to be, by 2028, we have to be a player in the market. So we already have to be a company, like which is at a very pretty good stage already. So for us to, like get access to all the markets around the world, we want to get access to the US market as well, to the European market as well. We are there in the UAE, that's okay. So for us to, get to all the people, like we would need, like capital to be in terms of marketing, in terms of operations. So there are a lot of things, like we want to have that, early moving advantage. Because we want to move fast in that the space as well, because this is the time, because like the all the things which has to happen for this space, like I personally feel has to happen this year for us. Like it can't happen that next year we're trying to, like trying to raise, or like trying to validate ourselves more further or something. That can't happen next year, because like this year is the time, when this space has like this new category is forming right now in the market. So we have to move fast, and that's something, for us to move fast, unlike it as a traditional business, we need capital to move fast. So that's why we're looking to raise.
You will be raising within the foundation, like
So like foundation in the sense.
Founders HQ.
yes. How does it?
Okay. Basically for now, let's say we are bootstrapping currently. Yeah,
Mhm.
because all the resources we are spending on Preslo, is from us ourselves, right? Yeah, Founders HQ, at least it's reducing our cost because we get some, most of some incentive, like maybe the office space. Hadn't been we had to go and rent an office space, like the office space, the ecosystem, meeting people. Like we have a free office for 1 year, in Dubai Founders HQ. Now we meet a lot of people from different incubators like AWS, which gave us, like couple of credit, for startup accelerator. Like we don't need to pay for server costs, for a couple of times like that. See, we consume that, right? So I mean, these are some there, but it helps to reduce our costs. I mean, and also expand our, um, to reduce our what you call it, the bond rate. Like, yeah, but initially, the Dubai Founders HQ, we could still get, we're still open. We can get an investor from Dubai Founders HQ's ecosystem. Yeah, but like Neha said, Preslo, it's a global product. Yeah, so we're looking to scale. Yeah, we are defining, we are sitting on top of, a category, a leading category. You understand? And we need to be a leading player by 2028. Yes. So, and for us to be that, we need to define it this year. You understand? Because, like I tell you, there are so many products which are coming out, as we speak, especially in the AI visibility space. Yeah, but most of them, although they don't really, go to, like to go too much, like in terms of mice, to compete, right? But at least they are creating noise, they are creating rowdiness, noise, and they are just creating disruptions like that. So, but if you want to, by 2028, when this thing to be a thing where, everyone can do without it, then we should be saying, okay, these people, there are people who see us, as their home and as their establishments like that. And for us to do that is from now. So we need the investors to be able to scale, right? We can get the investors from anywhere, even from Ukraine, right? Even from Russia, but we have our priorities like where we want to set up based on our target audience. I think the highest consumers from of Prezlo might definitely be from the United States and stuff like that in terms of high demand paying clients, isn't it? Yeah. So also the European areas like Europe, UK and stuff. Yeah, even in the Middle East, yeah, but uh it doesn't matter, right? But we are focused globally. Yeah. So if we get we are looking for investors from being Europe, Middle East, Asia, maybe the Indians and also United States. Yeah. So it's not he must not necessarily be from the so what they call it, the ecosystem. But this ecosystem, it's really helpful. Like we said, it's really helpful, and we have met a lot of people there who are who are like helping like to push things forward. And if we have some kind of credible meetings, yeah, at least we can now invite someone for partnerships in our office, and we discuss things out. We have interviews for employees. We can invite them for interviews, all those things like that. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right now trying to get investors. From what I understand, what is the future plan of conquering the category, the industry by 2028? Like, how are you? I know that's a hard question because you can plan as much as like in detail for a quarter, right? It's hard to predict growth for 1 year, even for a product like yours. But what is your plan for the future? How are you planning to that once you have funding from investors? How are you pitching it to them?
So I think
Oh,
it's definitely like expansion perspective to be able to get to as many people as possible. So that's what every business would want, like, and that's our plan as well to be able to do that. And plus, along with that, like we're looking at some perspectives, which is like development of the product. The product is nice, definitely it's great, but then like there are a lot of things which we can work on. There's a lot of research component we want to wish to work on in the product because um like to make the algorithm better, to implement, like have more partnerships with like AI companies, AI models, to be able to give better recommendations, and to be able to like have patents around those things to be a better global player. And so these are the things like research, product, and like, and then market expansion is what we're majorly looking at. And like in terms of like pitching to investors, so like obviously like like at this stage, like we are like a pre-seed startup right now. They wouldn't be looking at us from perspective of revenue. They would rather be looking at from perspective at us, like I think like one is the team perspective. They would be betting on the team. Number two would be that little bit early traction. That's not revenue I'm talking. Traction can be of any form: website traction, users, people interest. So traction is something they would be looking at as well. And then like one other component is like market. And definitely this, like, is this a market which has like a potential of at least $1 billion company? And definitely this is a market which is booming and it has a lot more potential than that. So I think these major three components they would be looking at. And the market and the team, honestly, like I would give full points at the moment. The third point, which is traction, that's something which we have some sort of traction, but we're looking forward to get more traction, so that we have full points there as well. So these are three components we are focusing on. We are selling to investors in terms of conversations, because that is where we're selling a vision in a way, because nothing is honestly like definitely there's a product and there are a few things, but then we're selling a vision of a unicorn, like. So yeah.
And I think your product has a lot of like has a great future. I also searched up like there are not so many competitors on your level. I saw some competitors like Schema or something. I don't know. I mentioned it. I shouldn't have mentioned it, but it does
No,
not
no,
look.
that's okay. That's completely okay.
It's more like narrow and a bit niched down on apps particularly. And well, just from the first glance, it did not look as convincing and structured as your product. But yeah, are there any values or criteria for investors that you're searching, right? So there might be some values, some like equity, like we're not gonna go with more equity than this number, or why am I asking that? There are some particular conditions where you'd have to share the database, the data of users, right? Or I don't know, are there any criteria for your investors?
Yeah.
Dependent.
So,
What are the things?
so yeah, like I think for investors generally there are like two kinds of investors. One investor who's like a silent partner, and somebody one who's like who in a way like who brings in like value and they help you with resources, help connections and all. And so we're probably like looking at a mix of both. That again depends on the profile, but right now how we're thinking that we're too early to go and raise funds from a venture capital at the moment. So we're thinking more we are going to raise it from angel investors. And from that perspective, we think that like if we have a let's say three or four angel investors coming together, everybody has a different needs of expertise. Somebody who's just coming up with money, silent partner, that's okay for us. But there is somebody also who has like connections in the AI space, who has connections back in the US market. We would prefer that the investors they were more, I think, like who would suit more us is from a US or the MENA market, preferably more from the US market, because that's where all the AI companies start moving, and that's where the market starts for AI generally. Then it goes around the world. In US and the Europe generally, that's the market trend like. So we prefer even that kind of combination as well. And but then it again depends, like again it comes to situations that which person is willing to write a check at what time. Is somebody saying I'll write 6 months from now, somebody saying I'll write 2 months from now? It again depends on the situation. We probably, but it's a combination of all things, but 100% we would prefer that somebody who brings in like value for us, in terms of connections, in terms of like how we can grow, because we want to move fast and we want to grow as much as possible. And so having that right investor can help us to get that stage earlier. So somebody like who has close connections to tech, to AI space, to marketing tech space, would definitely be a lot more better investor for us. Um, so and that's something which we're targeting more as well. So now if the research from perspective that we would definitely go and look at people who has similar experience in their tech only specific, because that's where it makes sense for us to reach out to. There's no sense in in us to reach out to company who invest into, let's say, pharmaceuticals. That's not their niche interest, like that's not going to help us much, because they know about pharma, they don't know about what's happening in AI or marketing tech. So for us, it makes sense to be more in touch with, having those conversations with, people who are in AI or marketing tech, investors or VCs in that perspective. We are speaking to VCs also right now, but it's from perspective to get feedback for our next seed round. We're trying to raise a pre-seed round right now and then a seed round next year towards the end, or let's say 2028 start. But then at that stage, obviously, like when we're looking to raise that round, there are certain things we have to receive and we have to reach. So now we're thinking from looking for perspective of feedback when talking to those VCs, that what would you want to look at, like while we are growing in the coming 1 year, for us to raise that seed round. So that helps to have more connections, because at that time we would be already having those people, we're already in touch, we just have to send them an update that, like, can we have a conversation now? Because we have to start building that up as well, slowly, because everything cannot happen instantly. Like the VCs have to know you for a long time as well, and then have to trust you as well. There are so many factors involved in this process.
Yeah, sure. I wanted to it's an interesting, that's an interesting question, like a possible one. But are you planning on exiting the like the product at some point, right? Or are you planning to? You already said that you want a unicorn, and maybe an independent one. I know that it's like hard guessing the future, but maybe there are competitors, like big ones, who might be coming close in those in a year and a half until 2028, or those who might be interested in product like yours? I'm saying, for example, right now I can, as a user, use other AI tools to work on my AI search optimization. Obviously, it's going to be worse from what I'm understanding, because the tool, like I would ask Claude, hey Claude, what should I do to appear better in search? Like my name is Anna, and I want to appear right as a UI UX designer who is selling services. But your tool would do that much better, and that's like a no competition, since you'll be monitoring that 24/7 and updating it, and you give me like tasks. But do you think are there like scary competitors that are that at some point might be doing the same thing? They're like always start up with a great idea, might raise an interest from a bigger fish in the ocean. Have you thought of that?
We never know, to be honest. But then, if I think like for the next 3 to 5 years, honestly, we have not even thought about like the exit thing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have to grow. And let's say if you're getting like a strategic partnership, let's say with Google, we would want to have a strategic partnership to be able to grow faster, to grow what we have built faster, and to have more presence around across the globe. So, and obviously, like honestly, it's a question, like it depends. It's something we would think when you have that opportunity on the table. So, like, there's no point in less thinking about that. But then, right now, like we have like the vision we are looking at is that like we want to build a Villicon, and like we're not thinking about anything else. So, but it depends again, on the situation and how things unfold.
Do you use Prezlo yourself?
Yeah. Probably not. Probably like one of the highest, like like Lopty and I are the people, like who's spending probably the most time on this, so like
Do you,
hours and hours and hours.
as a regular user, like if I would be the most efficient, perfect user of your product, right? And I would get the best result out of your product, out of your service. How should I act, right? Should I be opening the tool daily to see, like, okay, let's say I'm a founder, I don't have a lot of time, I can open it like once a week and have 4 hours dedicated for improving geo like general engine optimization for my product.
Yeah, like if you can like do it like twice a week, that's good. But then I think even once a week, putting like 3 to 4 hours on it, and that's pretty good, to be honest.
How much time would it take me on average to do the tasks?
I mean, it's again like you don't really have to daily log in about it around
Mm-hmm.
it. It's better that you spend obviously like more time, but then let's say once a week, like you go and check everything how it is happening, let's say, or twice a week, one of these things. And then you check all the things which are around happening, like around like what's your presence like, what are the keywords where you're missing. Then you work on the parts, then you work on some articles, and then you work on like optimizing it further, and like those multiple things, like those distribution plans and all. Prezzo also gives you like a distribution plan, which is like a weekly plan that you post like on a daily basis. Let's say day one you post on LinkedIn about this thing because you're missing in terms of results. On day two you post this on Quora as a question, or let's say as an answer. On day three you put this on Medium. On day four you put this on, let's say, Reddit. So it gives you a plan. So that's something like that's a distribution kind, you can do, let's say, outside the platform, and you're aware about it and you're doing it. But then at least like once a week you sit to strategize it, and you make a entire plan and you following that, and at least once a week you're sitting in, you're looking at the the what's happening, you're looking at the performance, you're looking at all the like the dashboard, and then you're planning it basically, and then you're working towards it, then like around the week whenever you are able to manage the time, or post, or let's say schedule a post, let's say.
How much time did it take you to get such a good like recognition of AI? Because I searched up your name and logged his name, and it's pretty structured information that pops up. How much time would it take to?
So, ideally, like I think you should like, for I'll give an example of one of our paid users. So for her, like She runs like an AI research company. And for her, like we start getting into like results, like after around 3 weeks of being on Prezlo.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it's obviously like like now let's say to be like then to be let's say the top five, top three in a certain region. Let's say it will take you let's say 2 3 months, let's say, and then let's say you want to be on a global level, like you want to be in that global result list, like right. Then probably let's say 6 months to a year or something. Again depends, like again depends if it's your industry is competitive, how many people are there. So multiple factors again there as well. But then you should start like, like getting like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you should start getting results.
Okay, that's reasonable for the global level. It's definitely reasonable.
Yeah.
Uh, how will you how are you planning to improve the tool itself, right? So for now, from my humble understanding, when you are back in the product, your product has something to offer, like offer, right? And to make offer better, it should have a better like dream outcome, the result that you are providing, likelihood of achievement that result, like how sure are you that people will be getting results and what results they'll be getting, like clients, time delay that it takes for them to get the result, and what else?
Yeah.
And
So I
effort
think
they have to do. So how are you planning to improve the product itself? Maybe just like to these users.
Yes, yes. So yeah, that's there. So we're planning to like come up with a lot of honestly things which where you don't have to do the optimization, like similar to prompt engineering, everything is happening in the platform like directly. So those kind of features we're coming up with, let's say the articles getting published automatically. Also
Okay.
working on improving the quality of articles. We're also working on improving, like we recently launched a feature which is like website SEO. What it does that, you connect, let's say your Shopify, your WordPress, or your Wix website there, and there you just go and you just after connecting you see around like how your every page of your website is performing. There's a score, you improve it. Then you don't have to go to the code of the website or something. You just go, you just stay in Prezlo and you just put in that this improve this there. Publish this article for me on the website. Prezlo will do it automatically for you. So like even like you don't have to need to have that technical background. Prezlo is doing making things easy for you. And similarly, like the thing is about like people have to use it in like the right way, then you already start getting results. So for to help them do the things right way, we're coming with these, like these prompt engineering features where things are automatically happening. We came up with a small chatbot which tells you which tells AI chatbot. You'll see if you log into Prezno now. These updates happened just last month. This towards the end of the last month, and so you will be able to see that as well. So there are a lot of new features we're coming up with, and at the same time, in behind the behind also like operational perspective, we are looking forward to improve like more things from the algorithm perspective. We're looking forward to improve a lot more from efficiency perspective, and we're researching more about it as well. That's why I was mentioning that we're more dwelling towards the research part for the optimization perspective. Yeah, because the algorithm also today it's working in a certain way, but then 1 week from now it might not work the same way. Things keep changing. We don't know how things like similar to SEO, like things how things change. AI models also have similar updates. So we're also working on that part to regularly track what new things are coming, how to right away work on those things, add to the platform. So we're keeping to improvements toward that part as well. And so overall, like multiple things together, we're working forward to improve the product.
yeah,
That's
and yeah, to add to what Neha said, okay, basically we are building Preslow, not to completely take out the responsibility sense or the decision-making sense of, our users. Yeah, we want our users to be in control, to understand what is happening, and they should be the one, to give, to automate or, to decide whatever happens. Yeah, but whatever they want, it should be able to be done. Like, but now, for them to have that sense of, decision making, ownership, and as well, to be able to facilitate work, we are making Preslo not just only, a work automation and, tool. Yeah, but Preslo should be able to also teach our users, right? Like when you click on this button, let's say, for instance, you want to get backlinks, it should be able to explain to you. It's an interactive, software. Like it explains to you what this backlink will do for you if you actually, fight to get, if you actually get an article from this backlink. This is how it will improve you. So it makes you have a vision as a person where you want to be. You can set that goal, and everything you're doing, you understand the process. So you can fight, for your competition. Okay. Yeah. Not necessarily like going to a system and you just put it and it just does everything. You are the loop. Once it happens like that, you might not be able to, catch up, especially, but we don't want that for, Preslo. We are giving the users a user-friendly experience on Preslo. Yeah. So it should be able to guide them, teach them, um, reason with them, but not take out the ownership right, away from them. Yeah, every user has a control, of what happens. They decide what should happen, what should, what the system should do for them, and what it shouldn't do. So they can, make changes and revert changes, decide whatever they want. Yeah, Preslo is just like, okay, uh, an assistant that say yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am. And also if you need some kind of complex, you don't want to do it, okay, Preslo can automatically do it, but it makes sure that it keeps you on the loop. Everything you want, you are doing, it is doing. It makes you as a person understand why this thing is there, such that it shouldn't hurt you. You understand? Yeah. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah, that makes sense. I understand that Neha was saying that the time that person would spend completing all those tasks would be a bit shortened by you making those a bit more automated. So that's that's an awesome product, and maybe there are some things that you wanted to talk about as well that I did not ask you. No?
I think we covered most of it. Yes, can't think of anything. Love to
Yeah,
one of you.
I'm just trying to keep everything like do not ask a lot of dumb questions, but I try to ask all the questions around your your path of building the product, and it's actually impressive the result and the whole idea. Because sometimes I know when I'm talking to other founders or to a product, or I hear about the idea, you kind of know deep inside that some of the ideas might have like flaws or cons or not that like sweet. And here, I guess the strongest thing and the first right thing that you did was the product itself, and then you put in so much work. I mean, fun like getting into this founders headquarters and building product really fast right now. I wanted to ask that if you would start out again building a different product, what would be like the one piece of advice that you would give to yourself if you'd be starting over again with the product, with a different one? What was the most important thing in building the product and startup?
I think one mistake which I personally make very less often now, and am probably improving that as well, is that like getting more market validation. One problem that generally happens is that like you build a product, but then you're not able to get users or traction. Because right now, like making a product is like you can make it with AI, you can make a product in 2 hours also.
Yes.
But then with that, like you have to start understanding your users that what they need as well. You need to build something which is required in the market where there's value. And so you first, really need to have a broader like idea about what all is happening. And sometimes, taking this one thing that, like let's say there's somebody like similar space or a competitor in the market, let's say they have a certain pricing model or there's a certain way they're doing things. So you have to understand that, why they're doing that. probably you doing that the same way makes sense because they have been surviving in the market for a reason, and then you are thinking just, like, oh I just want to do that. So you have to sometimes assess that as well, that probably like somebody who is already a big company, so they are smart people, they're not fools. So why is there a reason they're not doing things the other way? Sometimes it's because probably for them, let's say it's a company which is $10 million, for them it's a small opportunity, they don't want to work on it. Or let's say, or for them, let's say this model didn't make sense at all. Let's say they tried this model but they pivoted from this model. So you have to, this reverse engineering thing honestly works a lot. Like, it works so well, to be honest. For me, I always go to do reverse engineering about things, about revenue models, about how companies have been built. And this reverse engineering about your own product, that, let's say I want to, let's say, a unicorn. So what steps are included in the process for me to reach that? Now let's say you can't just say at end of year I'm going to have 10,000 users. You need to know that to get one user, you how much effort you need to put in, because it's not easy. And so you can't just put in blank on paper just that I have 10,000 users I'm going to have in a year. You need to understand the effort, the money, everything you're going to put in, and every step you have to start understanding, because just break it down, your big problems to smaller problems.
Yeah, and be less like
Yeah,
but
my
yes.
my
So
to
I think
add
I
to
mixed
that,
like a lot of answers together. So my answer wasn't very clear, but
yeah,
I mean, there's so many things to be honest, so that's why as well.
so for me, like to add to that, what Neha said, okay, yeah, my own advice I'll give to every startup founder, out there. Yeah, I'll say, don't try to solve everything. Don't try to solve every problem. Yeah, like Neha said, solve a specific need. You understand? It's very easy to scale, from an initial, but once you fight to solve everything, already you find it very difficult to sell, right? Because you find it very difficult to sell a feature, whereas you have a whole product. Yeah. But when you start small, you can easily grow, from learning what your initial target users, need or what they are requesting for. So you can have a clear sense of direction. Like let's say if I have to go into the accounting phase in the accounting, industry right now, yeah, there are a lot when it comes to accounting, right? There are things like, VAT, like in UAE, yeah, VAT is a very big issue. Like if you don't have, your VAT doesn't align, they will give you fine very big amount. There are people, accounting software is very unique that are specifically solving just that particular problem. So those kind of features or solutions can be integrated into bigger models, you understand, to just solve a specific problem. Solve one problem and do it so well that people can ignore, and it's very easy to solve. Like for instance, the person who made the spectacles you're wearing, they did it for one purpose, okay? Yeah, it was, for to give you clear sight or vision, and it's very easy to solve. Yeah, but when you make a product, that does so much, you understand, that does so much, like it's very difficult, like people, it's somehow, even you yourself, it's exciting to use, but for you to explain, the concept, it's somehow very difficult. And I think that is where so many startup founders, get to even our previous startups, right? I learned from this. Yeah. So we decided to simplify, Preslo in the most simple manner. Like if someone just asks me, I just say, okay, it's a product that helps you to get, recommended into AI tools. They just ask how. I said it helps, you to, structure your identity, and as well, create signals that helps AI to understand who you are. And simple as that. Then when they ask, okay, so how would this help me? I said most people are searching using AI. They're asking AI tools. See, a lot of people don't really go. Even if you go on search engines, you search, AI is the one answering. And if you're not there, it's like you don't exist. Do you know how much you are missing? I mean, people who are searching on AI, like people who are showing up on AI, they are gaining so much clients, and maybe you're missing, and that might just be the missing piece. You're missing in your business right now, and they are like, okay, so how long we with that is just very easy, and it's very experimental. Like it's good, it's very clear like that. Yeah. But if you want to solve, a whole mass of problems, all problems, because you are scared of, you should always know that you sink in the middle, because there are already big platforms who are solving so much, who have grown, who have started little, and they have grown to an extent that, most of the features you want to incorporate together, most of these big platforms, they are doing it so well. Like, let's say Monday.com, you go to Monday.com, it is doing so much, in terms of team management. And Monday.com a user on Monday.com, for them to leave Monday.com and come to your platform, which does all, they prefer to ask Monday.com to add the AI feature rather than migrating from Monday.com to come to you. So I'll prefer to build a tool that I can integrate to Monday.com that solve just a particular problem. Yeah. Such that if they want the tool, I'll pitch to Monday.com. So if your users are demanding the tool, I'll pitch to Monday.com to buy my tool. That's simple.
That's actually a problem. Like a lot of people overcomplicate everything. The product, the marketing, the offer, everything. Like when you were talking, you said showing what your product can do for them, and I saw that maybe that's the case, that people do not understand the problem they have, what they are losing by not getting recommended by AI. And uh, just a random idea, maybe you've thought about that already and it's not such a genius idea, but there is a way to show before and after of your users of Prezlo AI, right? Like search results before using Prezlo, without it, right? And after, just visually for sales purposes. Maybe I understand that you are working with this problem, just an observation that maybe.
We did actually add one feature, which is like, check your market share. So that feature tells you that, this is the market, let's say, like, $1 million market share you're losing to your competitors right now because you are not there. This is your score right now, which regularly gets updated. So this is something which we did add, like, on a landing page, we also have like a report section. We have a section where you come and you add in details, and then a report is being generated, which is like it tells you, let's say your AI score is, let's say, 11 on 100. This is the keywords where your competitors are ranking. These are the competitors, and this is the market share you're losing. So even that report is getting generated. So little part of that we have already integrated. So, but yeah, then we also, like, there's so many more things we can add. So we're trying to add them as well as soon as possible.
There are endless opportunities. Okay, so I appreciate you guys like taking the time to talk to me, to answer some of the questions, and that's my first time doing this type of format. It looks like an interview, and it maybe is an interview, and so I'm gonna say sorry in advance for some maybe awkwardness that I do experience by doing the call for the first time. But I saw that I'm going to do this and record the video to send it out to other people from the chat so that they would learn from you as well.
Yeah, please. There are a lot of things we said. Like we spoke and spoke and spoke and spoke. So I hope most of those long discussions you just cut them because sometimes, yeah, for sure.
But
From you, definitely.
But thank you so much for scheduling the
Thank
call,
you.
and like, really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that more, I think.
No, but you're honestly, like, like, I love the community, like, I love the energy of the community, and like, and obviously, like, that all comes from you, and so that's so nice, to be honest. So keep going. I'm your biggest cheerleader here.
Yes, you probably guys are. Thanks for being active, and I wish you like all the luck, all the universe to help you out with the product. And I'm just glad to like know you guys when you're starting out. It feels like a pretty. I'm like, those guys are gonna go huge, and I'm just gonna know them. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
And I'll have more calls soon with the community. So we'll
Thank you so much, Anna.
have a great day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you too. Thank you so
You too.
much. Bye. Take care.